arms, a baby legs. And silent.
No matter what way you look at it, when the podcast fired Judo Doherty because he had AIDS, they broke the law. Sorry, that was the wrong clip. Just You're listening to the very 14th episode of the Celtic Crack podcast. Sure, come here to mind me.
Mikey intro. Hashtag Mikey intro. Fucking hell. That was a good one.
2K18 intro of the year.
Yeah. Mikey, you should start writing comedy sketches or something.
Come here, we have a new fella.
Oh, Ernie the Jew. Ernie the Jew.
I've been here in spirit.
Zoom into his face, Mikey. Zoom in him.
Right up his nostrils.
Ernie's on the scene. If anyone needs any financial advice, get on to Ernie.
Number one, lads. Number one this side.
He will tell you blow it all in one good weekend.
Best 40 seconds you'll have, lads.
In fairness, that way, like, you're paying for memories, and memories last a lifetime.
That's
so
true.
It's good value for money, isn't it?
Think of them when you're in a cardboard box.
Follow.
Yeah, when you're in your cardboard box. At least you'll have the memories.
That's true.
It's been a wild ride. People walking past you, all right, bud, calm down. Like, did I ever tell you the story about the time I was in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
It was unreal.
4 hookers.
Yeah, I'd say you did. Fucking hell. But anyway, yeah, fair play to fucking Katie Taylor, lads.
Yeah.
As I was saying a while ago, like, I can't believe there's been hardly no mention of this anywhere. Like, I don't know what it is with the Irish media at all.
It's Irish people in general. They're kind of just fucking begrudgers. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I would say it.
But we always support our own, though, when it comes to shit like that.
I would think so, yeah.
When it's advertised.
Yeah, but it's the media, man. Fucking, it's the media. I'm blaming the media again. I sound like a pure conspiracy theorist there. But like, say, like, now, if there was a story about some English footballer that was tapping some young one behind his wife's back, it'd be all over the Irish papers and it'd be everywhere. They're like, who gives a fuck about that?
100%.
Here's Katie Taylor, anyway, for anyone who happens to give a fuck. She won. She's now the WBA and the IBF world champion. She challenged for the second world title last night and won.
Beast.
So she's 2 times. She's the champ. And she's going to go for the 4 of them. By the end of the year, she wants to win the other 2 world titles by the end of the year. Fuck me.
Like, yeah, it's fucking class, like.
The double champ does what the fuck she wants.
Damn fucking right. The quadruple champ.
Yeah.
And who's going to do all the cooking and cleaning then?
Oh, say that to her face.
I dare you.
Say that to her face.
Let me record it if you do, please.
Oh man, it'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? I'd actually love to see a man like fact the prick with her and just get the head
just take
boxed
bail off him. I'd love that. Not in a sexual way, but just in a
Ernie in the corner.
Hit him with the right.
No, bite him a little bit. Yeah.
Not that much.
But it's strange, like, I suppose I didn't really know about it is because it's strange how much information you get from your social media, you know, and I haven't been on it, so it's
you're
fucking
gone,
mental, like, it's mad the things that you won't kind of grasp, like,
but
you hear all these things that I hear every day. Do you hear about this? Do you hear about that? And I'm like, no, I've no fucking clue what's trying about, like, you know.
But you'd still get a bit of information from people speaking to you, though. Like, did you hear about this? Or so in some way you'd know. You
get more of a fucking conversation out of someone anyway. I'll tell you that much. It's true.
He'd have to be actually listening to people. Anyway,
that's it. Like, what's the story like? Do you know what I mean? I actually haven't a clue what you're doing with yourself. Like, it's fucking mad.
Yeah, but you're more in tune with yourself since you gave it up.
Oh yeah, big time. Feels way better. Like, do you know? I still use Instagram here and there. Like, do you know?
Oh Jesus,
that was on my old phone, so I'd obviously.
He's still holding on to the corner of the towel. That's Yeah, I'm off social media, but I still be on Instagram. Right?
But it's all fucking toxic. All of it is toxic.
I'm off all the drink and the drugs, but I still have a glass of champagne once a week.
But you can use it in the right way. You can look at it to better yourself.
There's definitely positives to it, all right.
Yeah,
but there are a lot of negatives as well.
Like, I'm definitely going to go back on Facebook, like, when I move away, like, you know what I mean. So,
but for that reason, you kind of need it. Like, because you're in Australia, you know. Like,
that's why. Like, for years, I refused to sign up on Facebook. I hated the idea of it. I wouldn't sign up, and then it was when Magic Walsh moved to Australia first. He was just at me about it. You have to sign up on Facebook now so we can keep in touch and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be at the other side of the world. You have to.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll make the page and I just won't tell anyone. I won't add anyone. But I didn't know back then that when you say, well, like, when I added him, all other people saw the gal get friend suggestions and all this shit. Next thing, people started adding me. I was like, okay, I'll just add this person. And then
Jude was the first person that exposed me.
Jude was on it way before anyone else. Like,
That's mad.
He was the first person in Ireland I heard of
I'd
talking
genuinely,
about it.
yeah,
I swear,
100%.
we were all on Bebo and Jude was like, fuck Bebo, man, Facebook.
Facebook.
I was like, what is this Facebook shit?
Bebo,
That's
lads.
because he's always good at jumping ship anyway.
Sticking a knife in.
I recently went down to a site. No, it was like a hyperlink that would take you to see your original Bebo profile.
No
Fucking
way.
hell, yeah.
Can you
You
see
see the
that?
whole front and everything that you had on it and the comments and everything. Yeah, that was
I'd
good.
actually love to see
So
mine.
See it,
would I,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I made my own skin, I remember. Do you remember
Yeah,
you could make your
yeah.
own,
Oh, yeah,
design your
remember
own
that fucking
backgrounds? I used to be making them for
I
everyone.
thought that was ninja. That was ninja stuff back in the day.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I seen the
High
boys
tech.
fucking
Yeah. I was there, oh my god, how do you design, you practically made your own website? That was back in like
I know.
2006.
Copy and paste.
It was 2006, wasn't it? Because I'm sure my username was like huge 2006 or something like
Yeah,
that. Had a year in it anyway.
madness. That was absolute
Fucking hell.
madness. Like,
Which, I think Jude had like Spanish friends or something like that
Yeah,
from another
that-
country.
yeah.
That
Makes-
it was
that
big
rings a
over
bell.
there. So they got him onto it, like, and then he was just preaching about it for ages. And eventually,
But it's mad how it kind of progressed to a non-English speaking kind of country kind of first before it
Yeah.
got big in Europe because it
we're
wasn't.
fucking we're usually kind of slow to catch on to these things
Yeah, that's
anyway. We had Bebo and we were like, short as grand.
Tis right, actually, it works.
Sure,
Yeah.
Bebo
it's a
does me
completely
fine.
different animal today, though.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
compared to what we looked at back in the day.
Ah,
like,
Jesus,
you know,
yeah.
when your newsfeed was actually manageable to actually look at.
Definitely.
Now all I used to get was anxiety. Like all I could think. Like I remember just like just.
The world is fucked. The world
And then
is
about
fucked.
3 hours later, you come up and go, fucking, why do I have a pain in my chest? You know what I mean? I've been looking
Yeah,
at
it is.
everyone else's lives, having a fucking great laugh while I'm
Yeah.
here fucking
That's a
stuck
little
in
trap
work
as
or
well
I
that
even.
mean,
people fall
people
into.
staged lives.
Yeah,
Not their real
That's it,
lives.
like,
Come
that's
on.
what I'm trying to
That's a
say,
very
like,
good point.
this constant
100%.
justification for likes, and I happen to be one of those people, like, you know, so it's like,
But we all are.
fucking get rid
We're
of it, like.
naturally, we all naturally want to be liked. But now instead of being liked by 2 or 3 people, well, yeah, okay. You don't
No,
really
we
give a
do.
shit, but
We
you're
do.
a
I
rare.
do.
You're a unicorn. You're
I do.
fucking but just a small bit.
Small bit.
Small bit.
Small bit about a small few
Yeah.
people.
Small
like.
few people. But like it's even at that, instead of being liked by 1 or 2 or 3 people, we're obsessed with liking like
Yeah.
hundreds of people, and
Mm.
it's like you can't get yourself into that kind of.
I'd say for a lot of people as well, when it starts off and they get like 10 followers, they're like, Jesus, especially when it's people who don't know. That was the cool
Yeah.
thing for
Yeah.
me, even with this podcast. Once, like at the start, it was all like our friends and family members not
Yeah.
liking it. And then we're getting messages from people in America and shit, and people from other parts of the country that none of us know. So I was like, this is fucking
old
cool.
lads.
that's
Like,
cool.
you know?
That's very cool.
But like, yeah, I could imagine someone who's putting up like these body transformation photos or something. Everyone's like, "Oh man, you look
that's
great,"
amazing.
you know. And then there's thousands, and then they're like, "Jesus, I wonder if I can get millions." And it
Yeah.
becomes like an obsession. Like,
And then
Absolutely.
one person says, I don't see any difference.
then
and then
one-
then their confidence is down the ground again.
Just war, all war breaks out.
someone like me comes in and goes, do you even lift, bro? just to wreck their head. Just try and bring that one back. But one of the worst things for me, I find anyway, about social media personally, is you always feel like you've been in touch with people when you kind of haven't really. You're not going to
Yeah,
like
I
people
Yeah.
would say to
completely
me
get
like,
that.
"Oh, have you seen Jim lately?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was talking to him yesterday."
Yeah.
But really I haven't seen him in about 6 months, do you know? So you
Yeah,
feel like you
yeah.
have been talking to him. So it's kind of good that you can kind of keep in touch with people that you wouldn't see, but there are people there that you could easily see,
But you don't.
but you kind of forget though, because
Yeah.
you feel like you're always talking to them,
Yeah.
even though you don't see him face to face. You don't really know what's going on with him.
I was even talking about it a while ago. Like years ago, you used to have to. Okay, I'll meet you there at
yeah.
4:00, and there used to be no other fucking way that you could see that person unless you were at that place at 4:00,
Yeah.
or you could ring a fucking house phone. Like that was it. You either give the shit or you didn't.
It's
Gone
strange
around
to be
it.
a part of a generation like that didn't have mobile phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange, like
In a situation where everyone
where you'd have to call the house number if you were lucky at that, like
Yeah.
to call the house number and
Yeah.
you know, find out someone's there. Nah, he's up in some field somewhere.
If
Like.
your friend was posh enough to have a house phone.
Yeah, but like you're interacting with your friends inside in your bedroom and they're not even physically there.
there.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Your
That's fucked up.
headphone on
This
and, you
Xbox business and all
Yeah.
that, yeah, that's madness as well.
Yeah.
But
But,
we sit down, we play Xbox. Now we do have moments of just staring at phones, but for a lot of
Yeah.
it, like I'd be engaged, and even if he's playing, I'd be engaged in what he's doing. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
stuck on my fucking phone.
Yeah.
No, but you'd be stuck to a screen.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
It's fucking mental these days that people watch games more than they fucking play the
Well,
things.
play, yeah.
And it's even mental that the kids are watching somebody else play it.
Play it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say, like, yeah.
That
They're not
fucking
even challenging their minds.
PewDiePie fucker fella, is
Yeah.
that? He's making millions.
Sure, look at the
of
Tree
kids
Arena hosting 3 legends, fucking online gaming. Mental.
watching. Jeez.
Thousands of the cunts going to see him, like, cheering them on and all of their...
That's great.
Ah, fucking yeah!
He is the man. Oh my
I
god.
made that code, my bitch.
Oh, man.
I don't
Some of
get,
them make me really laugh, like, you know.
I don't get that aspect of it. I don't get that side of it. Like, how the fuck
You
can be
fucking get it when you get
famous?
$1 million check from it.
Well, yeah, if you want to give me $1 million for playing a video game, please
You know
do.
what I mean?
Wow.
Who gives a fuck then after that stage, like,
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. Anything to get the paper.
I'd get
Yeah.
one all right for playing it myself. That's about it. When it comes to the games.
The
Yeah.
ultimate
place.
Mickey fiddler.
He always comes first.
Hashtag Mickey fiddle.
Mickey. Jesus Christ. You're dead right. It's warm up here.
It is warm. Man.
Toasty in here, is it?
Oh, it's
I feel okay, no? Thank
Okay.
God.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I thought it would
No, I've
be
been
a lot
feeling
worse.
fairly cold all day, even though it's absolutely lovely out
Yeah,
today,
it's
man.
gorgeous.
Lovely out there now.
It's nice old weather. alright.
Spanish pipe is divine.
Yeah.
I
Down to
swear
Spanish
God,
pint,
down
you
to
did.
Spanish
But you
pint.
see all the foreigners still on the street,
Yeah.
full duffel coats,
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
the-
lot. Like you see all the Spanish still going on the street, fucking wrapped up and everything around the face, like. And there's me then, 2 windows down, fucking
Yeah.
sleeveless and the whole lot, like.
I was watching.
it. Too hot.
There was ones down there, lads, and you swear to God, it was the height of fucking summer. Fucking tight jeans, fucking shorts, and a little fucking. Was it the ball, like, and even at that, like,
Them
what?
jeans are fair tight.
With the boys? With the board.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh,
do you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you don't. Yeah. You don't look at other women.
Of course not.
I forgot. Yeah.
I'm a
Oh,
man.
stop.
I'm a good boy.
I thought you said a minute ago you were like short little denims and a
No,
little
no,
short.
I was talking about.
Yeah, but then I thought when he said what, I thought you said no, it was a little boy. I was like, what kind of little boys are walking around on a Spanish pint in their little denim hat pants?
The new generation.
And why are you noticing?
That's the most important question. Why am I seeing that? Why am I noticing that?
Oh, Jesus.
Why is it called Spanish pint? Does anyone know? Something got to do with the Spanish.
The Spanish vessel, wasn't it? Something like that, like a
Was
fish
it?
fucking.
Oh,
sp-
when,
Had
uh,
Russell
Don't
know
be
this.
acting like you knew the
I don't
Spanish
know,
vessel.
but like it's
He read-
Spanish point, Spanish vessel.
Would it not be back in the day? The Spanish would have landed there
Yeah.
to help
Fishers
the
or
no,
Maybe.
to help the Irish fight against the English or something like that.
That still
It's
sounds like
Did
you're trying to
Yeah.
justify what you're saying.
I have no idea. I don't.
It's the same. There's a few places like that. You don't think of like. There's one in Galway as well, isn't it? Spanish Arch or Arches or something.
Spanish Arch.
Down by the water as well.
Yeah. Like there's Giants
So-
Causeway. Like there's clearly no giants around there. So like
There
There
was.
could have been, though.
In
There could have
Celtic
been.
mythology, like there was. Isn't that what they said? Like the giants
Yeah.
made this fucking. Yeah. It's an
Cool
epic
Cullen
one,
and his fucking fish. Wasn't it? Or no, Cool
No.
Cullen had the sorry. Who's the dude that had the
Cool
fish?
Cullen was the
had
fella who
bait
Right,
the
the
wolf.
hurled the schlitter.
Yeah,
like
the
in
schlitter.
Mowers, eh?
What's the who's the dude that used to suck his thumb and he used to get like
I don't know what that. No, that was the salmon of knowledge story.
was it the salmon, not the rubber bandit one.
The
no.
trout of no crack.
Are you
That's
talking
what
about
that's
your
based
past
on,
again?
like.
No, salmon is not sucking no thumb anyway. I'll tell you that much.
The salmon of knowledge. I don't think there was any like main character names in that. I think it was just like a grandfather and his grandson.
And the
And
grandson.
the grandfather was trying for years to catch the salmon of knowledge, and then he finally caught him, and he had his grandson with him, and they put him on the fire or whatever to cook him, and then
Yes.
the child went to pick him up or something, and it burnt his finger. So he
Yes.
got a blister or something. He put it in his mouth, but there was a bit of skin stuck on it. So he was the first to taste the salmon of knowledge. So he got the knowledge, and the grandfather then was like a demon.
Demon over
Cow.
it was.
So
See, okay,
something like that. I
that's-
don't know if their
yeah.
names were ever really a big thing. Like
Because I remember,
No.
I remember that I always get the two of them for fucking some unknown reason. I always get Cool Cullen and that story mixed up for. I don't know.
Is there anything better? Is there anything better than Irish folklore?
For like all this kind of crack?
nah,
Just
Irish
like
is the best.
as far as stories are concerned, like you know what I
we're
mean.
fucking lunatics.
I'd
Yeah,
say
we're-
we're
We are, like,
fairies
you know
and
what I mean?
fucking.
Without a doubt, I don't care what anyone says. Anyway, there was a lot of boys living out in the sticks like back in the day. That was eating mushrooms.
Oh,
and
yeah,
shit
100%.
Like that, and
Mm.
coming up with the maddest
Mad
of
shit.
stories. They came up with fucking like fairies, leprechauns,
That's it.
The Giants
Halloween.
caused
all of this shit, like Giant's
Because
Causeway.
clearly on the
Giants
best
built
of
that big
psychedelics.
pathway across the fucking Scotland to bait up some Scottish fella or something.
Is that what it was?
What?
On the
Yeah, but
left.
apparently
I thought we were
Scotland
cool with
was
Scotland.
only a
Not
boat
a-
ride on a
I love Scottish
rowing boat
people.
from the Giants Causeway to Scotland back, say, 1600 years ago. You would be able to row yourself to Scotland.
That makes no sense. That's the other side of Ireland, isn't it?
No,
Is that the
the
other
Giants
side of
Causeway
Ireland?
is on the
It's on
north. It's on the very top.
The Giant's Causeway.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is that
Antrim.
again?
It's right
Out
in
in
the
Antrim.
top
It's
of
at
Ah,
the
what's
right
the other
top
place
of
I'm thinking of? The Burren.
The Burren
Burren.
you're thinking of.
Yeah,
County
yeah.
Clare,
I was
isn't
like,
it?
what the fuck? How the fuck you would want to be some man to paddle a boat?
Through the country.
Oh yeah. The Giant's Causeway. I was never actually there, so.
See, that
was never
has it's the only basalt in the whole of Ireland, so that's why they reckon that the continental drift happened, because it matches the same stone in Iceland or something like that.
Oh yeah,
get
so
me?
we were attached onto Iceland at
Yeah,
one stage, I
exactly,
reckon.
and that's where the continental drift happened.
Pangea.
That is
that
See,
what it's
boys,
called?
you learn something new every
Every
day.
day.
Man,
School,
see this
eh?
see this podcast, the most educationalist
Tell you, lads,
podcast.
I'm
Telling
gonna
you.
live here. Rejuvenated.
Going to school is important, but this podcast is important.
I agree.
Telling you, you learn
I
shit
do
here.
agree.
But don't quote me on that now. I think it's basalt, you know.
Yeah,
it's some,
it's-
it's
yeah.
some stone.
quote
on
me
it.
on
Specific
that, no.
I'm
type
going to go
of-
around now saying
specific type.
everyone. Everyone.
We're not
has
quoting
to
you, but you're definitely on film
Yeah,
for
yeah,
saying
saying
it.
it. Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that piece out and share it. I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay Facebook to promote
Don't
it
quote
to
me on that,
everyone.
no.
I'm gonna target geologists then and
No.
all in the
No, we
target
won't,
audience.
but we'll
It's
record it.
It's the stone that's in question.
Give you a stone.
Here, listen, that's just between us.
Could you imagine?
Between us here in the room.
And what about like do you know what I've noticed as well recently, that this whole flat Earth thing
Oh,
is
Jesus.
is
Mikey
up
believes
there, like up there,
Is
up
it?
there, like
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
catch. I'm gonna
Well,
catch.
that
There
now,
is like proper conventions
Oh,
with
goodness.
thousands of people going to them, like going definitely flat.
Shane, there's a
That's-
flat earther in the room.
Oh,
Yeah.
there he is now, like.
Mikey loves all that. Nah,
But, like,
Mikey can't
Seriously?
stand these people.
All right, okay.
I seen one.
I
I seen a test one day to say that, like, you know, most of these cameras that, you know, go up in balloons, you know, with random things, like we'll say just before they blow, you see the Earth's cylindrical shape, like, you know what I mean. But like people say, like that's the
Spherical.
cameras.
Spherical?
Spherical. Circular.
Yeah, fucking. Completely lost what I was saying.
It's a train of thought.
Because are you talking about they're saying
I'll be
like,
high.
oh, it only
I'll be
looks like
high.
a ball because of the camera lens or something, is it?
Yeah, from a fisheye camera lens.
Yeah.
But like I don't know about that.
But
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. Like it's like you can see how people will get caught up in it because the flat Earth model of the world is so plain and simple, and it makes way more sense to our minds.
True.
Because like we can't wrap our minds around how the fuck the world is a ball. And there's covered in water on the outside, but the water doesn't fall off. And when you're down in Australia, you're upside down, but
Some
you still
lad.
don't fall off.
If the world
And you're
wasn't
like-
round, how did Christopher
It's-
Columbus
I'm
end
not
up
saying
in
it's not.
America
I'm just saying
when he
this-
thought he was in India?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just
You
saying
know?
this is why people believe it, because it's so much easier to believe than the world is round.
the moon is
See that,
round.
though?
That's
Is it,
people
though?
just
The
being
moon
awkward.
is-
The moon doesn't exist, Ernie. That's what they say. They're fooling you with the
Yeah,
moon.
it's like the Batman projection, you know that.
Yeah. That's it.
So I've been cad all my life.
That's
All
how you.
my
That's
life
how you
I've
can
been
pay
had.
to put a message on the moon. You think they're really going up there putting your message on the moon?
Yeah.
But just your fella puts a little thing across the.
I seen another one
Across the
last
lens.
night. I seen
just
another one
beams
last
it
night,
on.
and he was adamant, big capital letters and everything inside the caption. Proof that we're all living in a simulation.
I
Oh,
walked
yeah.
out. I walked out.
No.
No, yeah, I walked out.
Proof.
Where was
No, what? On YouTube.
His gaff.
And I big proof we are living in it. I was like, the things he was showing, then it was like,
Yeah.
come on now. Who are you trying to catch? Like, and I suppose like he's catching hundreds of motherfuckers on this thing, like,
See,
you know.
there's a
These are
gap
millions.
now because Stephen Hawkins, after dying,
Mm.
now somebody else wants to fill his wheelchair.
Jesus.
Low.
Fucking wants to fill his wheelchair.
There he is, look.
Ugh, no, that's not it. It's, that flat earth shit, man, though. In fairness, they have an answer for everything, the bastards, like.
But you
When
something so stupid. You're gonna have like, okay, I have to. Someone's gonna ask me that question. I'm gonna have to have a very
Yeah.
good answer for it.
They do, though. They do have answers for it. Like, and the more you look at it, like, and the more you, like, watch videos on it and shit, you're like, Jesus, it actually makes
Makes
way more
sense.
sense. But then it's just like,
Yeah.
You have to just snap.
But the
yourself
problem
out of
is,
it.
I think it's the people that try to explain it, like this, the believers, like to the skeptics, they also have, like, every time I've ever heard someone spout off something about a conspiracy, they've always had another strange story where then you kind of pick up and go, oh, you're definitely mental. You're definitely mental. Like, someone could say, like, oh, I believe in chemtrails or something like that, and they'll give you a good explanation as to why they think the government is spraying chemicals in the air to create weather and control weather and everything else like that, and then they'll make out
They're talking then about the evil reptilian overlord
that lives in his closet or something. I go, oh, right, yeah. Like, that's the problem with most conspiracy theorists, like, you know?
Yeah.
Alex
They always have one story, you go, oh, no, you're definitely mental. No.
To
you ever
stop
come
taking their
across-
meds.
Did you ever come across that David Icke? The shit he comes out with.
David
Man,
Icke.
I don't
the
know. I probably
world,
have
the world is run by, like, all of the world leaders are actually like
Reptilian.
reptilian
yeah,
shapeshifters.
shit. Hillary Clinton's apparently one.
For all we know, it's probably true. Like, but and they all, there's all these videos online then, like, where like here's a video of Hillary caught shapeshifting in the middle of it and all this. Like, you click on it then, and it's like she's turning her head slightly, and the camera kind of glitches for a second. It's like, see it? There it was. She was shapeshifting.
No,
Like,
what
oh,
happened
man.
was they
What
caught
the
her sticking her
fuck?
finger up at Donald Trump.
Oh, stop.
Look at the shit with the eyes. Look,
seriously.
There's-
No.
What
Like,
is that?
Like,
What is this?
It's the worst Photoshop I've ever seen in my life.
I'm
Shit.
sorry. Up in the top right hand corner of that photo, isn't that the thing from Resident Evil? The fucking the symbol from Resident Evil.
The Umbrella Corporation.
Umbrella Corp.
Probably.
No wonder
Lads are
Bill
all
did the
fucking-
doctor.
It's crazy.
Fuck's sake.
Mouth is too
Would
dry.
you like to be coming home to that eye?
What's wrong with Hillary's eyes? Is it a
Septic
cat eye?
eye.
No, that photo was Bill shot his load into Ray.
Jesus. There's one. Yeah,
Do you-
they're all
do you
Photoshop.
want to see the video of the other day? It's a video of Donald Trump and Melania at something. They're standing there. Next minute, then there's just the camera just almost like knew what was going to happen, and they zoomed the whole thing in to like Trump just trying to go for Melania's hand.
Ah,
Just
yeah.
just keep kind of, and then she keeps going. Fucking slapping it away. It's way
Yeah.
too good, man. It's like a little child's hand just going, hold my hand. Hold my
Ma'am.
hand.
Take my good hand.
Wow.
But that fucking I saw that one, or it could have been another one where they were walking along somewhere, like,
It was
and he went to
another
hold
one,
her
yeah,
hand, and
so
she
he
literally just fucked his
slapped it
hand
away.
away, like,
Yeah, but have you looked at him?
Jesus.
Would you want to fucking
Yeah.
hold his hand?
Supposedly it was her birthday the other
For
day,
the
and
money
he got
he
her
has, it was,
fuck all, absolutely fuck all.
Sounds
She was,
like
he was on Fox and Friends, like he was like, oh, what you get the wife for her birthday? I better not talk about that, or else I get in trouble. I didn't get her much.
Yeah, probably. See, it was probably
Just
some
a
weird
house.
sex toy thing or something that he bought as a present for her.
Oh,
That's why he can't talk about it.
you to put that on.
Yeah. This is for you. It's a present.
Jeff's session.
Fuck's sake.
No.
Yeah, it's
Good
sick,
laugh.
isn't it? Like, if there was ever like a blatant gold digger, like, my God, did you see the two of them
Who,
together?
Kanye?
Can you?
Why did Kanye come into the conversation?
He's
Because
back
Kanye
on
loves
Twitter.
Trump.
Kanye does love
Kanye
Trump.
is mad to give
And
Trump
he
a
had a
hand job,
song.
like.
He had a song called Gold Digger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a
Same.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
The two of them look the exact same. I don't care what you say.
But like
Black nor
they
white.
in fairness,
Both of
they
them
both
look-
think they're God.
Yeah.
They both think like they're the greatest that ever lived and like is the best at what they do.
My MAGA hat is signed. How I just feel sorry for
But
him.
like
MAGA hat.
the fact that he's
Make
such an
America
intelligent,
MAGA.
he's an intelligent lyricist.
Just back from MAGA, love.
Like if you get down to it, like his raps and his songs and all the shit he actually does write is pretty good. So you could
Debatable.
well, okay. In a case of hibbity rapid
Jesus
shit.
Christ, Ernie, calm down.
But you know all this
he's
rap,
on it again.
all that rap that's going
Yeah.
on at the moment. All the
He's not too bad, but he's nowhere near as good as he thinks he is. Like,
He used to be
wouldn't say
class.
he's
He
like
used to be class, though.
Summit like
He's
through the wire.
had,
Through the wire. That's-
to the wire.
To the wire.
To the wire.
To the wire.
Through the wire. Like that's
To the wire, isn't it?
through the wire because he had his mouth.
Through the wire.
I thought it was right down to the wire.
No, through the wire
Through
because
the
his
wire.
mouth
I'm
was
going home
wired
to
shut.
pull my
Yeah,
wire
after a
here in
crash.
a minute. Will you fuck off with Kanye
Yeah, I
West?
know.
will
Yeah,
you?
I was going to say something about him there.
sake.
Now when you threw me off with the wire.
No,
Talk, sorry.
there, lads. I swear to God, there is a video that I seen that they put together on Last Week Tonight. Only I think on last week's episode.
Last week tonight.
Last week
Last
tonight.
Week
That's the
Tonight.
name. That's the
Tonight.
name of it. Fucking brilliant. But it's about a news reporter in America that like every time he finishes an interview or he'll finish an anecdote, or we'll say an anecdote, he'll use like someone's a sentence from someone's raps. Oh, lads, it's fucking brilliant. If you can find that, that is absolutely fucking hilarious.
Just trying to
like,
be hip.
On a serious
the cool
note,
kids.
what
The most-
about this?
Oh yeah.
Kim Jong-un made
Oh man,
history
that's unbelievable.
going into South Korea for the first
Yeah.
time in
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that he's bringing his own toilet? They're afraid that a spy will take his shit and look at it and see if there's anything wrong with him.
And try and clone
No
him.
bullshit. That's actually true. Like,
They might be able to grow their own Kim Jong Un if they have his
Small
DNA.
little one.
He is a shit in the bag,
Clone
alright,
him.
is he?
like one of those.
Yeah, it's a fucking weird one, isn't it? I saw the video like where he came down and he stepped over the border to shake hands with the other like.
They held hands going over the border. Same shit.
Holding hands. Then. And
Yeah,
then
the
they
big
realised
road,
they
like-
were holding hands for a bit too long. That it was an awkward second, but they just kind of left go.
But did you see when he said to the other fella then, you come over into our place?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it was like,
the other flap your shit himself.
I'll go into
Like, oh, no.
I'll go into your house if you go into mine, kind of thing.
Was it Kim that went across the south?
South.
Yeah.
But he said then he'll disband all chemical
Nuclear
weapons in by May.
I think that was inevitable, though. Wasn't their test site something like it's unsafe? I can't believe it was actually unsafe to test a nuclear missile. I don't know how that works, but sure, look. Do you know?
I think he was just doing all that in recent times. Just say, look, I have power and all that. So
I don't know. I was saying to Mikey the other night, like, for all we know, he could be just a really nice guy who just inherited all this because his father was a lunatic.
Yeah.
But then Mikey pointed out that he murdered a few
He's
of his
all
family
up.
members. I was like, oh yeah, maybe he's not that nice.
his uncle never clapped.
They can
when
only
he,
get something like 5
There he is, burying him
specific
now.
haircuts.
Oh, yeah.
So no.
Yeah, we went through that on the podcast a few weeks ago. Like the rules over there, like I think there's like something like 11 different haircuts
Yeah.
available for men.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This kind of shit, and then
There's some in
like,
the pictures.
blue
of-
denim is banned over there because it represents capitalist America.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
See,
some
weird
mental
shit.
shit, lads.
See, that was a big seller for Russians in behind the Iron Curtain back before it during the Cold War. They used to bring in Levi's and everything and make money off it. They used to have underground parties, all dressed in their Levi's. and, like,
Check me and my denim.
yeah.
All mad to be Americans.
I'll double denim out of it.
And that was just Russia. What about all the other countries that was behind the curtain? You know.
Having their underground denim parties.
Yeah.
So weren't they making them?
Freaky bastards. Sick
Fucking mad.
animals.
And if they got caught, then they'd be sent away to Siberia.
Yeah.
You know?
Siberia's
That's
not a bad
some
place.
rush. They
If you
didn't
like
need
snow.
drugs. Just the rush
Yeah.
or the fact of being caught would be the adrenaline enough.
Fucking hell.
Speaking of getting caught, what about these pedos that we were talking about?
Ah, lads.
I shared it on the podcast page last night.
Did you see the comment I
And
left?
look at this.
Did you see the comment I
I
left?
did. I can't remember it.
I
though.
checked RT News this morning, not one thing on it.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
off.
Of course.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying
Seriously?
again about this fucking
If it was
Irish
two-
media, man. They're useless.
If that
like.
was two drug dealers kneecapped by them for selling drugs up there,
It'd be all
it'd
over
be
the
all
fucking
over the
news.
news.
That's
And
sexy
just-
though. That's sexy now.
Yeah.
Just so,
Kneecappings are is sexy like
Us,
that.
Irish,
where it's-
us
where you wanna
Irish
be.
invented the
Yeah.
kneecapping.
yeah.
They love that like.
Just so all of our international or billions of international listeners know, we're saying RTE, not RT.
Not RT.
RT. Every
Radio
time someone says
Television.
it, I saw it on RT. You don't know if they're saying
It's
RT.
RT or RT. Yeah.
So,
Radio
Television.
Television.
The
Yeah.
Irish ones, man, they're just, like they really, I think, anyway, showed their true colours when that whole water protesting
Fact.
was going on.
100%.
Because the groups that were organising it contacted RT, said we're doing a massive
Yeah.
fucking protest. Will you send someone down to cover it? Oh, sorry, we've no cameramen available. And then when they did mention it, there were like up to 10,000 people
And
turned
there
up. There was about 120,000 people. So they were downplaying it and fucking kept pushing this agenda as well that like, oh, most people now have agreed to pay, so it's all the protests are winding down. And they were getting bigger, like,
And what lesson did you learn from that?
that they're in the pocket
Of
do
the
you know?
government.
They're
the
There's
taking,
no
pocket.
such
they're
thing
taking,
as free press, and
Fact.
their job is to bring news to the public.
they're all,
They're
If the government
correct
or
news.
if anybody is doing wrong,
Yeah.
but yet they
but this
don't.
is it. There's no real proper investigative journalists
No.
in this country.
Not at all.
The ones that are calling themselves an investigative journalist are bollocks. Do you ever see that fool? What's his name? Your man that keeps doing these shows where I went deep into the underground world of
what's his name?
Louis-
the Irish
Louis-
fella. No, the Irish fella. Paul O'Connell or something his
No.
name is.
Donald McIntyre.
Yeah, I know.
not-
It's something like Paul O'Connell. He always kind of changes it slightly. He's like He calls himself an investigative
I
journalist.
think it's Donald McIntyre, isn't it?
It's not Donald
no,
McIntyre, no.
no.
It's not Paul
This-
Williams.
No.
I don't know.
I know
I've
the
seen
fella
him
you're
anyway
on
going
about, like-
undercover, and he was calling himself Paul O'Connell and all this. But he goes into like talking to drug dealers and all this. We're going into the underground crime world of Ireland and all. This is what's really going on. And then the next thing, he's in a room talking to this drug dealer. Your man's face is like in the shadows, and his voice has changed. And he's like, "So, what kind of money do you make doing this?" And he was like, I'd make about 4 million a year, like, sure. And he was like, and you wouldn't like just get a normal job, sure. Why would I want to work? I don't need to work. I'll make this so much money doing drugs. And like, you're like, there's no drug dealer that makes that kind of money that's going to sit down in a room with a fucking journalist and tell him,
fact.
especially not in this
100%.
country.
Joe, some homeless
All-
fella would all right for 50 euros.
All the stuff he does, that's exactly what it is. Like, all the stuff he does is pure setup bullshit. Like, you're like, you fucking fooling
But
no
it's
one, man.
gripping.
It's like that Nicola Talent. I wasn't going to say it, but she did another story about Limerick this week in the Sunday World.
I seen that. I
I
commented.
didn't
You
see
know,
it actually, no.
Putting a negative take
Yeah.
on Limerick again. After everything Limerick has been through, she comes out with another new story. The new faces of crime, but more fear into the people of Limerick with bullshit.
They
90%
love
lies,
to
you know what I
fucking
mean?
have an old dig at Limerick, like.
Yeah.
But
You
like,
know, and we're gone as quiet as any other county in the whole of Ireland. Like, you know?
We've all been here our entire lives, and none of us have ever been stabbed.
Yeah.
I don't even know anyone who has ever been stabbed, but it's still called Stab City because of something that happened 20 odd years ago.
it's on the Sunday World. Who the fuck reads
Yeah.
the Sunday World?
But a lot of people did say, no, I put up a comment about it, about putting Limerick in the negative light. I said, do a story on people who bring a lot of positivity into our communities in Limerick. And we have come a long way.
It's not entertaining. It won't
No,
sell.
drama.
This is
You
it,
see
yeah.
Drama
and they're-
sells.
Yeah,
You have
they're
to be able
full
to see. You
advantage.
have to be able to see these fucking news companies or whatever they're calling themselves these days for what they are. Like every time I see a headline, I'm like, I see exactly what they're trying to do with that headline. Do you know what I mean? I see who they're aiming it at and the kind of reaction they're trying to get from it. Like it's all the shock and like half of them are actually like, this is the new blah 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 that we should all be very scared of.
Yeah.
You're like,
Always-
Jesus Christ, they're literally telling you what to
What?
be scared of now. Like,
Tabloid, you see.
man.
But over in Liverpool, didn't they do a boycott? The actual Liverpool city did a boycott of the Star or the Sun when something came out when they were portraying them in a negative way. Same thing, like a lot of people did say
I think it was about that. Was it like the load of Liverpool supporters that died or something like that?
it was just, yeah.
I think it was something like that.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were downplaying it all the time and all this and giving them bad press or something like
Yeah.
that.
But see, that's what we should do in Limerick. Hashtag don't buy the Sunday World.
Yeah.
You
Does
know?
anyone buy it though?
Does that
They
just
do.
decide who
They
the
do buy it.
I don't know anyone in Limerick that buys it.
They do buy it.
I'd like to say, like, newspapers. I think newspapers already know that the printing of newspapers is well and truly nearly over.
Yeah.
But yet they're still so abundant in stores. Like,
It's just the older generation is still like
Still,
to buy them.
yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
easier for them.
Sit
But
down on a Sunday, read a Sunday
no
Yeah.
one,
newspaper.
no one our age fucking buys them. Like, so they're on the way out.
But it's
They
just
are.
too accessible from your phone. It's just all there.
Yeah,
Every
they're
news
literally-
headline is there. Like,
Yeah,
I wake up in the
because-
morning, my news headlines are there on my notifications.
You
But you
can't
still
get away from it now.
You still don't know what's misinformation and what's true, though.
Yeah, it's all bollocks.
It's
If you
all
ask
it
me.
is.
Oh, no. It's
I
never
don't-
been more
I don't
diluted
trust-
than,
Yeah. At this very moment.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
then
trust
again,
any of it.
I don't trust any of it. Not
You
one
know,
fucking
they all,
bit of it.
they all
man.
have their own.
everything will have
agenda,
to be
like.
taken as a pinch of salt.
My
Like,
dad always tells me to watch everything and just try piece together out of everyone's different report, try to piece together. But even at
A
that,
lot of the times they're all pushing the
They're
They
same.
were
Yeah.
wasted words anyway.
the fucking fact.
Oh, no, I watched the best one. A big thing in America is the Sinclair Group. Sinclair Group is pretty much in charge of
Yeah.
fucking
All the
thousands
major
of
news
news
outlets.
stations.
And what,
Everything,
who's it
most
back here?
things they
Rupert
see.
Murdoch.
Yeah, Rupert Murdoch would be
He's Fox.
Sky.
Sky.
Sky, yeah. And I think he's merged with someone else as well. But like, it's insane. They will say that there was a story saying like, some would say news stations will try to manipulate and tell you, things in order to kind of like, sway your opinion on something. The same script was pumped out.
Oh, I saw
through-
that.
I seen that.
See
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
And it just brought it out and out and
Yeah.
just built up with more and more screens
It
of
was
people
showing
doing
all
the
different
same fucking
screens.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
Same-
all these
same
different
shit.
news, all these
It's
different
like-
news
That's
channels,
the height of
exact
brainwashing,
same
like.
thing,
I
like.
know
The
nothing
height of
about
it, like-
this, but a lecturer told me a few months ago that the Independent is all for, say, Fine Gael, and then the Times is all for
Fianna Fáil.
Fianna Fáil.
Yeah.
You know, so
But we
everything-
forget, they're
Yeah.
run by people,
Yeah,
like.
but that's bias.
Dennis
and
O'Brien.
everything,
And they're a
like, you know.
business at the end
Dennis
of the day.
O'Brien,
as well.
that fellow who controls the media in
Yeah.
the entire country, he owns basically 90% of what we read and see
Yeah.
comes
But
from
this
that
is
man.
it, like, and he was a major figure in that whole Irish water thing as well, and
Yeah.
fucking, like, he was
Yeah.
protected to the last. Like,
Press.
they never said anything bad about him. Like,
No, he's a
just-
prick. I say it over this. He's a prick.
Prick.
Go.
What
Go.
did you do? No, Dennis.
No, Dennis,
No,
you hear me?
Dennis.
Come out and I claim you.
I wonder what's happening now. Actually, did you see? Topaz has been rebranded again.
Yeah,
isn't it?
again.
No way.
I wonder,
again.
did he sell them, or is he just trying to
Go away.
Canadian
trying to make
company,
it
I
look?
think.
Yeah, I was
Canadian
wondering,
company.
like, did he sell it, or was he just trying to make it look like it's something else?
No,
now?
Something
I
else.
actually think he
So
sold it.
anyone who was boycotting Topaz can go back there now because it's not Topaz
Yeah.
anymore. But really, the same person really.
It
owns
does sound like something a shitty move he would do. In fairness,
Is
A lot of them
Topaz
do that
around
shit.
the last
Yeah.
10 years?
I don't know.
Well, maybe if it is, maybe he's changing the name so you don't have to pay any more tax.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Oh, see.
But not
They-
as
they
that's
do
always
that
the case, like,
shit.
they do it. They
They-
rebrand things.
they
like,
do that kind of shit.
That's
the
why
whole
Michael Dell opened up a new factory in Limerick every 10 years.
Time. Yeah.
That's why EMF2 and EMF3 came. Because he was only he was only tax free for 10 years. But
And
if
then-
you open a new factory then
And then he
on you
fucked
go.
off.
and then he
Yeah.
fucked off to
He fucked
Poland.
off,
Closed them.
I'm out this bitch.
Yeah.
Thanks for the free tax.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, wow.
Everything got robbed to death over in Poland.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
They failed. The factory closed down over there, didn't it?
They
Yeah.
robbed them.
Apple are doing the same, you know. And what way are they doing it now? They're doing a whole fucking reach around with a spider monkey, like fucking.
yeah.
They're going out over into Amsterdam,
Damn.
coming down through Amsterdam,
A
coming
reach
out
around.
into
A reach around.
Antigua, somewhere down
Reach around for
down
spider
south
monkey.
down there, like, and then coming back up into Ireland, then again, like, you know.
Up the sphincter.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're snaky out, aren't they? Like, in fairness.
But like, if we don't pay our road tax, then we'll get sent to
That's what I was just
fucking.
gonna say.
Yeah.
If they get
So,
away with it, then like.
It's fucking. Ah, man, the amount of fucking.
We were just talking about it last week. We'd get locked up for not paying for your television license. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know. In all fairness, I haven't. Well,
Well,
in all fairness, I pay my TV license every
the time.
single year.
I've seen it myself with my own eyes. It's there.
Oh,
The
fuck.
2002.
Yeah. But that
No one answered the door, right?
Yeah, never.
that did you close off that story about them pedos, man? I wanted to see that properly. Those two pedophiles that were like,
I like the fact that
Like-
they were actually painted in blue and handcuffed to a fucking bench. Like,
we were talking about that
More
last
of a
week. I was like,
shame.
the guards are doing absolutely nothing about it
No.
other than warning people. And like I was saying, the fact that they were calling their man a child rapist means he has been convicted of it. Otherwise, they couldn't call him.
Him, yeah.
So they were saying child rapist and pedo pal have teamed up and they're going around. Pedo tag team, they were calling them. Like, they're going around the country and Gardaí are on high alert and telling people to watch out for them. Like, what kind of fucked up carry on is that?
it's bad form when the public are doing way more about it
Yeah.
than the guards.
Here they are here now. Look, they ended up in Armagh. And them boys in Armagh said, hey, catch yourself on.
Yeah. Aye.
They fucking tied him up.
Fucking love it.
Tied him to a park bench and fucking poured paint over
I
him.
fucking love it.
Oh, brilliant. Should have
See,
poured
they thought they
petrol.
were smart getting out of the south and going to the north. I was only saying that to you a while ago, Mikey. Like,
Yeah.
they probably thought now that nobody knew them up there and
Yeah.
they'd be out of the view of the
Different
Gardaí.
news.
It's only the PSNI, they wouldn't have a file on them. And
That
right
could-
job.
Go
Why
on, the
is
lads
there
in
so
Armagh.
many sick pricks? Like,
Have to say though, fair play to the people who actually
Actually
grabbed
did
the
it.
hold of
Yeah,
him and did
fair
that to
fucking
him.
play.
Because how many people would actually do it?
No.
So you would see him and you
Slim
go,
to none.
oh, look at that prick, blah, 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 blah. Oh,
You can,
But like
do that
these-
you can do that in counties when you're kind of
I
a
suppose
law on
when you
your
have
own.
when you have children that you love that you want to protect, like
Yeah.
if that
Oh, man.
if
Even
those
if you
pricks
don't,
are
man.
walking down your
Oh,
fucking
I'm gone.
estate, like,
I'm gone. I go to prison for a couple
you
of
know,
years for what
but
I do.
you see, I
I'm
suppose
happy
you're
to
no
do fine.
better. You're no better than the fucking pricks if you beat the shit out of them. Like,
of
No,
course
no,
you
no,
are.
of course, I'm not
Where?
fucking little
In
kids.
my eyes-
Legend.
you're not though. Like,
in my eyes, you're way better than them.
Yeah.
You're a legend.
you're not
way
though.
better.
Do you know? Like, that's the thing.
That's liberal Ireland now for you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's the first thing that I would do,
But
but I'd be
he's-
no better than the prick going out and baiting the living shit out of him because I'm no better than in society.
I
like.
get what
See
you're
that
saying. I do.
statement?
I'll never forget, you know, Anders Breivik. Is it Anders Breivik that killed?
Bancroft.
No, it was a different fella. It was a different fella that went down an island in Sweden or Finland, and killed
Oh, I've seen
fucking
that.
26 children and whatever. Like, I seen a fella. I seen a father of one of the children. Like, you know, he spoke to his son 6 hours before he was shot dead. Like, and you know, he was like, "Don't you like? What would you do? Do you want to kill him?" Like, no. I want to see him trialed just like any other person that would have done the same thing. Like, but like you have to feel, hate. Of course, I feel hate.
Yeah.
Of course, I would, but
Violence would be the first.
I would want to kill him. But at the end of the day, that would leave me no better in society than what he's done today.
Very true.
And I suppose when you think about it, like, yeah, I still want to kick the shit out of him, Dom. I still want to kick the shit out of him.
I'll point out the differences in the story, all right? If you knew this bloke was going on to do these things, wouldn't you want to stop him?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the way it is with these blokes. They've done their time. They're out in the streets. Now they're on the prowl.
Yeah,
So
you know
obviously they're
gonna do it.
planning and they're scheming and they're up to something.
If you can prove that fact,
So-
like, then yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
They're pedophiles,
Obviously.
man.
Why
They
don't
haven't
team
stopped.
up?
They haven't stopped being
Like-
pedos, like.
Bank robbers
Yeah.
have met each other in prison and have teamed up and robbed the bank.
But
when
even
they
at
got
that,
out,
with
you
a
know?
bank robber or something like that, like I was saying the last time, they might come out and never do it again. They might have learned their lesson. But this is who they are.
Yeah,
They are
it's
pedophiles.
mentally,
They're
yeah.
attracted to
Like
children.
A
like.
normal woman ain't going to turn them on.
No.
No,
You
so
know, and everyone
they're
has
always,
sexual needs.
They're always
sick
going to
shit.
be sexually attracted to children.
That's the
You
problem.
know, so once you know that about a person, I just don't think they should be allowed to live. I really don't. They're a fucking ticking time bomb, and they're going to molest some child.
Yeah,
So
but
what
see,
can you do about them? Like,
all they can do is just
Castrate
keep-
I'd agree, yeah.
Castrate them.
I'd agree. Like, but then it's just I suppose when I watched that about with your man, I just felt like that is a better person.
Yeah.
To better our society. That's what all I was saying. Like,
a lot of that then as well, though, man, is people who are a bit religious and shit. You know,
Castrate
oh,
the fuck.
I'm not
eyes of
fucking
God,
one bit
blah, blah, blah.
religious. Like,
We
Fuck
talked
all that.
about that as
I
well
would
last week.
Castrate
definitely
them.
agree.
Yeah.
Castrate the
Castrate them. Do fucking.
I must
Absolutely.
I must
Neuter
actually look
the
into
shit
that.
out of them.
Does that actually kill all the urges, though?
I would
'Cause even
assume
like
so.
Mikey was saying, like, don't you get a dog
Castrated.
castrated, and he still tried to hump your leg and shit, like.
I suppose, yeah.
But doesn't your ball sack necessarily produce your testosterone and fucking so
Yeah,
that's
it does, yeah.
so the minute your balls go,
But
that's
is that all of it? I don't know. You would imagine there'd still be some kind of urge, like.
All right, so castrate him.
Just
At the
imagine you
neck.
were castrated. now.
Castrated.
From the neck down.
From the neck
The
down,
neck down.
floating
Yeah.
head, man.
You're just gonna do a headoscopy.
He's going to put you over here.
Yeah, into the jaw.
Ah, yeah, he's dead.
That
did.
killed him.
He did.
Yeah, that killed him.
We tried to be gentle.
We'll do it different the next time.
Yeah.
Talking about another sitcom.
Have a little pudding pop.
With his happy message sweater. Fuck's
Ah,
sake.
you sick motherfucker. And it
Bill
wasn't
Cosby.
one, like,
Bill Cosby is found guilty of sexual assault. So, what happened with him? Like, he went to court and
10
was
years
he-
per count, isn't it?
yeah.
But
he went,
this was a retrial, or
retrial,
something,
yeah.
wasn't it? So what happened the first time?
he went to court. It was basically
Evidence.
evidence was given, and the jury sided with him.
Evidence was given from another another witness to state that you're one, because all the rest of the claims were too old. She was the freshest claim that had the most amount of evidence or whatever from 2004. And then what happened was a friend of hers, a work colleague, had a conversation with her in work stating about how she was going to pin a high profile celebrity for a lawsuit. So obviously she came in and fucking said all this, like, but still, the retrial went ahead.
But
and she
what
got away with
are
it.
the chances that Bill Cosby paid her a few quid to come in and say that?
Absolutely.
Do you know?
course.
I've been watching.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I've been watching Billions lately. Have you watched any of that?
No.
What the fuck?
That's
is
the kind of
Billions?
shit that goes on with him, man. It's about like this billionaire fella who has like a massive company, and then there's all like people trying to take him down and all the sneakiness that goes on in the background.
Yeah,
where they're all
money, man.
setting each other up and
Absolutely.
paying
yeah.
people off to say this, and witnesses coming forward and all. And you're like, man, how could you ever go up against these cunts? Like,
This money,
so
man.
that's Bill Cosby is worth an absolute
It's a fortune.
fortune. Like,
Well, he's going to be worth
Sick.
fuck all anyway. Well, I suppose actually
Well-
no, he won't be really financially hurt from this, would he? Well, his
nah,
family
it'll
won't.
just be anally hurt, I'd say. Yep. Sat in prison. He was like, oh, don't put it in If he wearing a happy message sweater when he gets out,
You fucking,
he probably won't even get out.
No,
If he was
He'll
the
die in
same
jail.
as Tyson, now where there was one bird blaming him,
Mm.
but like, how many came forward?
This is it, like-
54.
Something like
Like
that.
that's-
Yeah,
that's a bit
A lot of it.
That's a bit too many
That's
coincidences for me. Like,
A lot of it.
a lot
It's
of
like
them.
if one person calls you a donkey,
Mm.
you know,
See, a lot of
55 people call you one go buy a saddle.
See, a lot of them. a lot of them happened in the 80s and
Hey-ho.
the 70s, and in their law, it's, in America, if it goes past a certain
It was
amount of
alright in
years.
the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. Like there was a lot of claims that were made that were just way too far to
That's
be
madness as well.
held up in court.
But like someone said there a while ago, the age he is now, and he's only getting caught for it. He's lived his life.
Yeah.
He's had an unbelievable life as
Yeah.
a fucking billionaire or whatever he is. I think
And-
he's a billionaire. Is
Yeah,
he?
he must be.
But
think
when you
he's-
think about it, like that man was going for a legacy.
Yeah.
A legacy of comedy, a legacy of, you know, all other things great, like, you know what I mean? I suppose to live on history. Now, that man is, well, the problem is
Yeah.
he will live on
He will.
history
He will.
further than most people that have done
Yeah.
great things in their lives simply because of the horrific things he's
Yeah,
done.
but he'll
And
go down
even
in
fucked
infamy.
up, like.
Infamy.
I've
What's it
I've
called?
heard all
Infamy.
of I've heard a lot of fucking stand-up comedians that looked up to him and said like he
Yeah.
was an inspiration. And
Yeah.
they'll still say like he was a great comedian, he was brilliant, I loved him, but can't believe he did that.
that shit,
There's
like-
still like
Now
he's
all
still
the
remembered.
non-swingers
He's still
are saying
remembered
he's
for
an
being great.
inspiration.
Great. Yeah.
He's still remembered for being great, but there was this other side to him,
Yeah.
so can't win with him. Can't.
But do you think he's going to be doing hard time? He's going to be in some holiday camp
He'd
playing
be
tennis.
fucking minimum security prison now, fucking playing.
Hopefully
everything.
he's going to be doing hard penis.
Or Harry Penis be doing
Ass.
him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For God's sake. Oh, remember this? This fella, man caught driving a Tesla from passenger seat on M1 gets road ban. Like that's hilarious.
Can I have a go?
These Teslas can drive themselves. So this fella decided to just jump into the passenger seat and stretch out and let the car drive itself. But like he's after getting banned from driving because of that. But like he wasn't
pretty
even
ridiculous.
driving. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
a technicality.
Someone,
Can you get away
I
with-
saw this on Facebook a while ago, and someone had commented, will he still be allowed to not drive while he's banned from driving? Do you know what I mean? So, like, hop in the passenger seat, bud.
The idea is that he got put off the road for being in the passenger seat, not for not driving the car, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to be in the driver's seat to operate the steering wheel at
in
any
case
time, like,
a
you know?
malfunction.
yeah,
You're putting lives in danger.
You're supposed to be there, yeah. It's a funny one, though, because imagine he just kept going like that. I suppose you'd have to get someone to get him on the motorway first, and then, you know, because it doesn't work on like every road.
Yeah,
it has to be a
cool.
road with clearly defined road
Yeah.
markings and all that shit. Like,
Taking down my lane.
yeah, it won't work in country back road. Straight into a bush.
Tesla, though,
Dukes of
is
Hazzard.
pushing the fucking boundaries, like, isn't he,
Yeah.
like? Fucking class.
He's
I genuinely
Tony
did
Stark.
not know what I was looking at when I first watched the live launch of
Yeah.
SpaceX. We'll say with his Tesla, like fucking bolted onto the front of the fucking rocket. Like, did you see this? That was.
Man's
I
a
genuinely
lunatic.
was like, how the fuck has someone designed a rocket to, you know, to
To
tear
tear.
another rocket into space so it goes into fucking orbit and tears off to Mars, and then all the rockets come back and land?
So the funniest thing about it, though, he did all that just because he felt like
Felt
it.
like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, 100%.
Like, what the fuck? That's the kind of mentality you're dealing with now when you're talking about these billionaires.
Amazing, though.
Like, do you know what I mean?
But like,
He just fucking launched.
Look
the
at that.
car
Look at
out
that
into
for a
space.
picture. Like, his car. Not just any car.
His
car.
He just launched it out into space and left it there just because he felt like
Yeah.
doing it.
Fuck
Could you
you,
imagine
lads.
if there's if that, like, I don't know where that's going to end up.
it's a flat earth there now,
I
lads.
wonder will that just keep orbiting the Earth or what? Probably will.
What?
It would,
car.
no,
That's off to Mars,
that's
kid.
off to Mars.
How is it?
That apparently
That is off to Mars.
Yeah, 100%.
What's powering it? I thought it was just left out there floating.
That's actually bolted on top of the fucking
Yeah.
rocket.
Fuck
I
off.
swear to God.
I thought that it launched it up into space.
there it
and
is.
just left it
You
there.
see, that's what was bolted on top of the rocket, and then there was shields all, we'll say, around it. And as soon as they got out of orbit, we'll say the Earth's atmosphere,
Yeah.
all the shields just broke off to
Yeah.
show the car. Then, like,
I
obviously
thought
just
I
floating
thought
there.
the whole lot fell away and just
No.
left the car floating. out
No,
there.
watch it. Look there. Look.
Fuck's
Look
sake.
at that thing.
So
That's
that car
crazy.
is going to Mars at this very
That's
moment.
gas. Could you imagine the people of Mars? They're going to be like,
God,
what's this?
What's this?
What's this?
Oh my God.
Oh my
Gives
God.
a spin. Gives a spin.
It's a new model Tesla. Amazing.
Who's your man in the driver's seat? Imagine their shock when they pull off the helmet.
Oh man.
I'm still talking like there's people on Mars. There probably is.
It's all right.
Mars probably doesn't even exist.
Sure, and he
The
convinced
world
some
is flat.
people he's going to
go to Mars.
go to Mars.
Yeah,
and
he's
live
going to
on
die on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He will.
Apparently they have the ways and means to do all
course
this,
they
like to
only
start a
thing-
whole new.
The only thing
Planet.
I'm going to do is choke on a Mars man.
Lads, I still don't know.
Mars ice cream.
Like, some people put up some great proof of these Van Allen space belts
Oh yeah.
to prove, like, there's no human being getting past them fucking things. Like, Do you know, to say that we couldn't even get past them for the moon, like that's what makes like some people make like I just like no, I smell bullshit.
This is turning into a pure conspiracy theory podcast. I like it though. I like it on a bit of a snare about
Did you
him.
see the pictures of Buzz Aldrin? Is it
Buzz
Buzz
Aldrin,
Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
You know yourself, like
To
Woody.
infinity and all
His
that.
nephew,
like,
like.
you know, but they showed his footprint on the moon,
Oh yeah.
and then they showed his actual space boot that he
Completely
wore,
different.
supposedly gone. Totally different. You know what I mean?
Different sole on the fucking boot, like.
Did you get me?
No
Didn't
way.
match,
Shocking.
didn't match the footprint at all.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hilarious.
But didn't the Russians? Or
I don't
was
believe
it
it.
the Russians? The Russians went to the moon then shortly after the
I don't
Americans
think so,
did.
did
Oh,
Was it
they
so-
were on at a space race.
Yeah,
The
Oh,
I
Russians
think they just
gave up
abandoned
after
it.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Oh,
they
fuck,
abandoned
okay.
it when.
But I just can't understand. I just can't understand how we
Yeah,
went to the fucking moon
Yeah.
when we did. When we did.
yeah, it's true.
But
yeah.
this
And we
is
still haven't gone back.
yeah, this is the biggest mindfuck. Like apparently we went to the moon back then using less technology than
Yeah.
what's in your average
And they can't
smartphone
do it.
today.
Yeah.
You know, washing
Like-
machine. even.
and they
What?
don't do it.
Yeah, I actually have a smart washing machine now. Like
Yeah.
What?
fucking hell, yeah.
Takes your
Washing
dishes
machine
off.
goes like this. Hey, clothes are ready, kid.
No
I'm
more
pure
juice there.
smart.
You want to give me
man.
another spin, cuz? And tell you no.
What are you looking at?
Every now and then he just goes, "Woo, we're spinning." I'll be like, "Shut up, washing machine."
You kind.
He's like, "I'm only getting smart."
I'm only getting smart.
But that's what I can't understand. Do you know, with all that kind of speculation, just go and do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
prove it.
Prove it.
Like,
Cast
Didn't a guy try to do that? Or was it no? He was trying to prove the Earth was flat. The flat earther who rocketed himself.
He went up in the balloon, huh?
No, it was a rocket, wasn't it? We were watching it there fucking
Which
a
one
week or
was
two ago.
that?
It was the
Don't
flat
bang the
earther. He
table.
sent himself into space.
no, but that was definitely us watching a portion of garlic bread being sent up into space with a balloon.
No. This dude sat in a rocket and launched himself tried to launch
Definitely
himself
didn't watch
into
that with John.
space. I watched it in the room anyway, so
Was
I
this-
watched. People may not have been there.
been there, yeah. May have seen
I
it
may or may not have seen
in
it.
my dreams while I was watching TV. No, it was a dude in a rocket and he fucking shot himself up, the first flat earther to send himself into space or orbit to try see if the world was flat. And he came down and he survived. He crash landed and survived. And then he was
This fucker.
yeah, this motherfucker. Watch
Research.
this. Yeah,
What?
I swear, watch this shit.
He's
Bought
doing
that in IKEA,
research.
did he?
Fucking hell, that's a lot of fairy up liquid bottles. Fuck's sake.
He did, and he actually launched
He's
himself.
been waiting for his mother to finish him since he was a child. That's how many he has.
Any proper video of it, like taken off?
I don't know. I seen a video. What I seen was a video and actually
No
like a report.
fucking
Yeah.
way.
Actually launched himself.
This thing
into
hanging
space.
off the back of a truck. How haven't I seen this?
I don't know.
That's
That's why
crazy.
I thought
I seen it months ago. But I
Mental.
didn't see the video. I seen him.
And what's he going up there for?
he wants to prove that the Earth is flat
And how is he going to do that?
by launching himself into
I
the
know, taking a
stratosphere.
photo?
Yeah.
Go up and have a look.
Go
Like.
up and have a look. Yeah, it's flat, lads.
I fucking knew it.
He's
You
pure,
big
like.
bunch of bastards.
Watch the age of him then. He probably has about a 12-year-old Nokia. He'd be up there recording. Now, lads, see it, told you.
Fucking told you.
He come back down then. I got the picture graphs. Look.
Watch it. There
Big
he is. No,
blurry shot.
fucking
No.
getting shot up into fucking space. Watch it.
That's fucking crazy.
Space.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. And he landed and he survived, and apparently none of the medical professions.
You're
at
going to
that
drive
time-
people mad rather banging. What are you
Oh, I'm
banging?
fucking sorry.
That's what
Get
happens.
pure excited.
What does
man.
that
See?
mean? Like,
He bangs. He bangs.
Bang.
That's what.
what does that
happens.
mean for the flat Earth? Like,
It basically means that he.
Means the earth is flat, doesn't it?
It means. I think.
That's what I think it means
From
anyway.
what I can remember, he actually couldn't get a definitive answer, so he needs to do more tests according to the video
Okay.
I seen.
That's
Right,
all
yeah.
a byproduct of shooting too much coke up your nose.
Yeah.
that's
And
it.
then
man.
what happens then is you're shooting yourself.
I'll
up
fucking
into
build a
space.
rocket.
Yeah.
Watch
Even-
me. Watch me.
Watch me.
How do you even do that though? Like, Jesus.
What?
It's not your average person that can build something that's capable of launching
No,
like that.
like there he is. No, he survived. He crash
he's
landed
grand.
and survived. He's fine. Grand.
Jesus Christ, man.
He
That's
looks like
crazy.
he's after having a savage wank.
Didn't some fella do it there recently as well with a balloon, a massive balloon, just like a hot air balloon, and just went way up
He's
into
in
space?
spasm.
Oh man.
Yeah,
What
you
happened
get a
with the balloon? The balloon would just pop with it.
I don't know. There's about 5 conversations going on here.
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Sorry.
Shane said he looks like he's after having a
know,
savage
yeah.
wank.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in spasm. I
He's
said.
drained of all bodily fluids.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
talking
I
about-
don't know.
There's,
Chief, we
there's
got-
the flat Earth image there. Like that's what they reckon as well. Like that it's flat like that. It's like a disc, and there's a massive high ice wall all the way around the edge. Like that white is a big ice wall.
So they've
and
been
there's no
watching Game
way.
of Thrones.
So like yeah, and they say like they're hinting at it in Game of Thrones, you know, because there's always hidden messages in the movies.
for
like,
fuck's sake.
and yeah, apparently like if you go there say and get onto the ice and you can actually go to the edge like and look off. Apparently some woman did it years ago on a jet ski. Did you see that? No. Swear to God.
On
There
a
was,
jet ski.
A jet
woman-
ski.
Yeah, there was this famous woman. She was like, what would you call her? Like an adventurer or whatever the fuck. Like she was off doing all this mad shit. But she went off on a jet ski and took off, and she never seen again. Then a few years later, some fella found he was digging or whatever, and he found her jet ski with a note in the pocket, and it was like, I made it to the edge and all this, like, blah blah blah.
Man, before the compass and before they discovered America, sailors used to be convinced they were going to fall off the edge of the
I
earth.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, and then they never did. You know, they never reached it.
But
Thousands
how do you
of years
know?
of sailing.
How do
There's
you
a
know?
reason for
Because
that,
they
though.
made it back, didn't
Can I
they?
ask though?
But you see, water it's not still. So when you're sailing, the water's kind of pushing you sideways slightly, and you just keep going around in a circle.
But lads,
That's how
the benefit. What is the benefit
yeah, that's the biggest
of
point
telling
it.
us?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
why? Like, what is the most pointless thing you could
The-
think of
like-
that you could hide from a human being? Like,
Yeah.
Well,
You
a
know,
lot of
like
them
if
might
they
say,
had if
God
they had just
freaks.
told us like that the world was flat all along, what difference would it make? I suppose you'd probably have these extremist fellas going out trying to base jump off the edge of the
Yeah.
world. See what's
do
down
that.
there.
I would actually like to do that.
People would be doing that
Do
actually.
a
like,
bungee
love
jump
to do
off
that.
the edge of the earth.
Imagine it. You don't know what else is out there.
I
Like,
just looked in and seen a
someone is-
picture about
someone's gonna
Jesus.
do it.
Not impressed.
Not impressed,
Jesus.
I created spastics.
But yeah, that's the thing about it. Like the amount of people that would have to be involved in this cover up.
Yeah,
Like, you know?
you're talking every government ever.
Yeah, and see, they don't help themselves then either because NASA have been caught out putting out like these satellite images
Yeah.
of the world, and they were photoshopped, and you can
They-
tell that they're photoshopped. So people are like, "Why are they putting out fake images? They're trying to trick us, right?" But it might have just been fixing up the image or
yeah.
whatever.
I caught
but
y'all. I caught y'all.
it just gives them more fuel. Then like
But like it
this
goes
word that they keep using, is it the firmament? Is that firmament?
Firmament?
Something? Oh, I don't know.
But like it wasn't there a thing of Middle Earth years ago where there was an Earth inside the Earth?
In Lord of the Rings.
Definitely Lord of the Rings.
The documentary.
But like
Yeah.
it
I think
years
you're
ago,
talking about Narnia
No,
anyway.
no, old folklore.
In
old
the closet,
folklore
yeah?
would say, yeah, something like
The
on the
hobbits?
lines of
Yeah.
hobbits and fucking. No, there was a Middle Earth. There was like an Earth
Minotaur.
inside the Earth. It's the same shit as this flat Earth bullshit. It's just like
I don't know. I just think like it's very easy to see how people get caught up in it because it's way easier to understand. But I just don't get why anyone would want to lie and say that the world is a fucking globe if it's not. Just don't get
to
it.
keep us
Why?
under the thumb,
Yeah.
man.
Make us feel
Looking
like
for
we're trapped.
notice.
Make
That's
us
why.
feel
I
like
don't know
we're
about
trapped.
you anyway, but this place is so hot.
It's
Yeah,
warm.
it's pretty hot
It's
right
warm.
now. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
But,
I
come
say
here.
on a
Did-
good day we do this motherfucker live in a field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In a field.
I have a
Ship
field.
the whole
Drop
lot.
the whole in a
Wasps
big
and everything.
field with a lot of cows around.
I have a
Be
field.
some laugh.
Imagine it.
Quintessential Irish podcast
Yeah.
in a
In a
field
field.
with a load of calves
I have
and a
the
load of
perfect
fucking
field.
cows
And a big bag of cans.
Big
big bag
bag,
cans.
big
big bag and four
Ah.
cans of Dutch gold each.
Nah, man.
And one of those stupid little disposable barbecues that you buy for €4.
That cooks nothing.
Sure.
Big box
It
of
cooks
rollies.
No,
send them
no
nothing.
one wants to be bothered buying a proper barbecue here because you won't get the use out of it. I buy one of these ones for €3.
€3.
Fuck it away because
Yeah.
it's going to be raining
Am
tomorrow.
I the only person here that sounds fucking class?
What?
Would be
I
class,
do.
alright.
Big bag cans in a barbecue like
Yeah.
podcast.
100%.
Only
want,
one thing
um,
you're short:
want-
electricity.
We get a couple of boys.
Big battery.
Ah,
I'll
a couple
fucking
of
plug
boys
that
and-
shit up into my car.
Let's get a couple of bikes. We put it all on bikes and we put a generator onto the wheels and we all
Yart.
circle. Yeah, there
Run
you
it
go.
off.
A
Cigarette lighter.
mobile podcast.
A mobile podcast.
Mobile podcast.
Yeah, we're into the 2020 now, lads.
I'll take the bike in to get serviced in Halfords anyway first. Anyway, I'll tell you that much.
Well,
Yeah.
I can barely pull it myself. No mind the fucking
Wind
bike.
would be a problem. We'd have to put up a lot of wind screens around us.
Don't worry about that.
Don't
Don't worry about that. Windbreakers will do it on the beach.
It's a wee.
On the beach, imagine that. Beach cast.
We'll dig a big fucking hole in the ground, a load of windbreakers around us then.
Life's a beach.
Loves the beach. Then you
Can't
marry
do the
one, then you
beach.
die.
I'm insecure about my body, you know.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Strange places to do a podcast. Just
People-
think about it. Like,
Strange
People are
place.
bad as
just
shame.
kind of change it up like
Yeah,
a
it would.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to get sand in my mic.
Sitting on the toilet.
The urinals and the crescent.
Today,
Your man's going for it
yeah,
inside.
welcome along to the.
Could you have like a Wi-Fi podcast where we're all in our own respective toilets and we can all do the same shit?
Yeah, could actually.
You could actually do that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
We could all have a
We're
same
coming to
shit.
you live now from the
Jacks from each other's bedrooms. We're wiping each other's holes and mouths.
No. Jesus, only went to the.
Seeing you. No.
I mean, no,
far?
not that. Not
Too
that.
far?
Just letting you know.
We'll
no.
wipe that one from the record.
Edit.
Just
Edit.
that Nazi pug story I wanted to look at.
Z Kyle?
Did you see that shit about a fella somewhere
Yeah.
in the UK? He trained his pug to do a Nazi salute.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's fucking like he has a pug
It's
and
funny,
he trained
like.
him. He'd say
Z Kyle?
yeah, he'd say shit like that or gas the Jews. Like this is it here, is that?
He didn't say gas the Jews.
I think he does. Yeah, he says gas the Jews, and then the dog puts up his hand like he was doing a Nazi salute.
He kind of does look.
Sie Kyle.
Ah, for fuck's
Sie
sake.
Kyle.
Like that's not even a Nazi salute, but
Sie
whatever.
Kyle.
Yeah. So the video was viewed more than 3 million times before it was removed from YouTube. But the fucked up thing about it, look, they came to his house and arrested him for it. They came and took him out of his house and arrested him for doing that. Guilty. Recess call to await sentencing.
What?
That is fucking crazy, man. Like, if that's the case, like, how can they...
How
well,
can
like,
they
whatever
pick
you
each
want to
fucking-
call that, like, I don't know, they're calling it a hate crime or whatever the fuck.
What's
But
his
like,
name?
you
Count
can-
Dunkula.
You can say something stupid or do something stupid online now and they can come and arrest you for it. Like,
No, that's wrong.
Okay, cut that shit, Mikey. But that's fucking like,
No,
we're all fucked, like, if that keeps going that way.
100%.
The talk the shit, imagine that.
Fucking hell.
Man,
They'd
shit.
come to your house and arrest you for
Man,
doing
no.
shit stupid. Like, fair enough, your man's a fucking idiot with his Nazi shit. But
Yeah.
lock him up, like.
It's is it a fear tactic? Are they doing that so it
I-
doesn't
Do
encourage
you know what it is? It's just more confirmation that your people run the world.
right?
Fucking Jews.
Mike-
Jews are like, let's just show these people how much power we have. Said
Yeah.
something smart on the internet.
Do
Did
it.
he?
Try
Lock
me.
him up.
Try us. Come on. I dare you. I'll shut this whole thing down.
Jews.
Everything.
I saw something there recently about Hitler, and it was just like, jokes on him, he's dead now and the Jews run the world. Like, what a sickener. Talk about spinning
He
in your
didn't
grave.
die. He lived the rest of his days in Austria.
And then he died.
And then he died.
So he died. Huh?
He lived the rest of his days in Brazil.
Argentina.
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 Sorry.
Argentina.
Austria. Argentina.
But yeah, I think that's about it for this week. We shall wrap this up. It's fucking sweating
It
in
is.
here.
It's on my balls.
Yeah. Cheers for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment,
Talk you,
subscribe.
Bjorn.
Yeah, I love it.
Love you.
In the face.
Hashtag
Smooches.
pulling out for the podcast.